the-race.com did a article, which was from Simon Patterson. He was talking with Justin Marks, who's the owner, CEO of Trackhouse Racing. Trackhouse Racing is getting into MotoGP, which is a motorbike racing series. Really cool stuff. Really, I haven't really watched many races, but I watch highlights at times because it's really unique. Trackhouse is trying to grow this brand, right? And instead of just being a NASCAR team, the Trackhouse brand wants to be global. They want to get more other motorsports, right? And this whole article is, Justin Marks talking about how he wants to grow MotoGP and also grow the Trackhouse brand, right? And I don't know much about GP and MotoGP at all. But the main topic that came out of this is, when talking about MotoGP and how you can see the driver, right? You can see the driver. You can see them moving and turning the car, and you can see the person. It's right there. There's no roof over the dude's head over in a motorcycle, right? You can see every move that the driver's making to drive that motorcycle, right? But then when you're comparing it to, a NASCAR and how you can see the roof, this is what comparing MotoGP to NASCAR. This is what Justin Marks said. And a lot of times in car racing, you can't really watch the guy directing it. In NASCAR, we're asking people to sit and watch a race on an oval. That's 3.5 hours long. And the cars could be driven by robots. And looking from the outside, they wouldn't even know the difference. So right there, he got here, said that it looks like a robot could drive these race cars. Oh my gosh, insane. Like that to me is crazy. He's just almost saying that a robot, anyone can do this, really. Calling out like kind of disrespecting NASCAR drivers and thinking that anyone can do this and how simple it is and how it isn't that hard, right? But then Justin Marks clarified this, and because I guess he said what I saw was Adam Stern clip, which I'm going to throw up here. Adam Stern. When I saw this on X, it was Adam Stern. Adam Stern did a little clip from it because he read it and then posted the same thing we just read about NASCAR driver. About it looks like just robots that could do it, right? So he said they took it out of context. When he's saying, I'll read what Justin Marks said. Well, this was completely taken out of context. What I mean is that it's hard to watch the drivers do what they're so amazing at doing because they're inside of a car. Sheesh. So this gave it a little more clarification, which it all made sense, right? He's just saying that like it looks like a robot could be doing it, right? Or anyone else could be doing it, but because you don't see the driver. You don't see the driver in the car, and you can't tell how that car's handling or how hard it is or how close they are to wrecking, right? And drivers have said that these cars are so on edge, but you just don't see it because it's very small things. You don't know it. You can't feel it, right? You just see it. But all those close moments from wrecking, you just don't see because you don't see the driver, right? And it makes sense. NASCAR has onboard cameras, but most of them are facing towards the track. There's only a select few of drivers that have the driver onboard cameras where you can see the driver and see him fighting the wheel or getting loose or almost wrecking, right? So I think people took it out a little bit of context, and it makes sense. I think that's one thing that's hard for fans that watch, or casual fans or new fans. They don't give racing the same respect because they're not seeing the drivers in the car. They think if they see an onboard camera, all they see is the driver, turn the wheel a little bit. That's all, and then turn the wheel straight when they're going down a straightaway, right? They don't see how difficult that really is and how hard that one turn might have been because because the drivers are just so good. They're very, very good, and they don't understand the different grooves that drivers run. Why are they running against the wall, right? Why are they running in the middle of the track or the middle of the turn, right? Why are they doing this? Why are they getting so close to the car, right? All these little things. And still, to me as a fan, it's still hard to explain to new fans about that and what they're actually doing. It's still hard. So I think that's one of the reasons why NASCAR also just doesn't get the same respect and why people hate on it because they just think it's cars that just turn left. But there's so much more to that. So, interesting take. But it was a little bit taken out of context, which I do agree. If you were just to read what he just said there, that, robots could do this, you would kind of get a little confused. He's almost kind of disrespecting NASCAR drivers and thinking that anyone can do this, or robots could stick and do this. Maybe robots could do this in the next, who knows, maybe when we're all dead, they'll figure out a way that a robot could drive a car. And I don't think that's really any time close to happening. But no, interesting. It is definitely an interesting take. But I do agree with what he was his full context. I do understand the full context of what he's saying. It's hard for new fans to understand how hard it is to drive these race cars.